Hello and welcome back to the weekly show where I share some of the most interesting news in gaming. This week was a big one for new title announcements. We got announcements for Fortnite coming to mobile, Ubisoft's announcement of Division 2, and perhaps the biggest bombshell of all, the announcement of a new Super Smash Bros. Game for the Nintendo Switch. All that and more in today's episode. This is GameByte. First up, we have the final open beta for Sea of Thieves out, well, right now. The hotly anticipated title from developer Rare is set to release March 20th. You take on the role of a pirate. You get to sail the open waters, hunt for treasure, and engage in ship-to-ship battles. With mysteries tucked around every corner, there really isn't much more you can ask for in a pirate game. If you want to take it for a test drive, you can hop into the open beta right now until March 11th, either on Xbox One or PC. The game will be cross-buy in addition to cross-play, meaning that you only need to purchase one copy to play on both platforms. The developers detailed some new features that they're adding to the open beta, like capturing animals and taking out skeleton forts, which sounds pretty awesome. I'm definitely jumping into this after this video, and if you have it on Xbox One or PC, I highly recommend you do the same. Next up, what do you do with a mega successful game that everyone, including me, can't just get enough of? Well, you release it on even more platforms. That's right, we're talking about Fortnite. It originally released on PC for early access, and then soon after they introduced a Battle Royale mode that now rivals PUBG in popularity. It is one of the most streamed games on Twitch, and the fact that it's free, at least for the Battle Royale mode, certainly has helped its wide adoption. It's currently also out on PS4 and Xbox One, also for free, and I suppose it was just a matter of time before it came to mobile. Epic has officially announced that Fortnite will be making its way to the mobile platforms of iOS and Android very soon. The rollout is a little bit slower at first, with people being given invite codes to redeem on iOS and later on Android. If you're interested in jumping in early, you'll be able to sign up for it on Epic's website starting March 12th. And perhaps even bigger is the game's ability to cross-play with players on PC or console. That feature will be opt-in, that way the PC Master Race can rest a bit easier knowing that they didn't just lose against someone in line at Starbucks. The more arcadey nature of the game combined with significantly quicker match times, I think make for a well-suited mobile experience. Let's just hope that the game translates well to a touch interface. Either way, it might be time to invest in one of those mobile phone gamepads. Moving on, another big announcement today was from Ubisoft in regards to Tom Clancy's The Division. The game originally released back in 2016, but the post-launch window was marred with a slew of technical issues, player exploits, and an overall underwhelming endgame experience. Which is certainly not the case right now. The team over at Massive have been working really hard over the past couple years to make this a pretty incredible game, especially after the 1.8 update and game modes like Survival and Underground. There is currently way more to do, and the game generally feels a lot more fun and satisfying to play. If you haven't played it in a while, I strongly urge you pick it back up. I recently did and have been having a blast. And it seems like the folks over at Ubisoft agree, because they have greenlit Tom Clancy's The Division 2. The game was announced yesterday in a statement out by Ubisoft. We are thrilled to announce that we are working on Tom Clancy's The Division 2, and that development will be led by Massive Entertainment in collaboration with Ubisoft Reflections, Red Storm Entertainment, Ubisoft Annecy, Ubisoft Shanghai, and Ubisoft Bucharest. We are also taking everything we learned over the past 2 years and applying it towards the sequel to make sure we get it right. So while I'm very excited at the prospect of another Division game, I'm a little worried about the way Ubisoft is going about this. There are other games that we won't mention here that were marred with a ton of issues because they seem to have been rushed out with a lot of different studios working in tandem, with the final result being a big mess. So I just hope that they've learned from that mistake. I hope that they use these studios in a smarter way, and I really hope that they continue to push forward Massive's vision for this franchise. There are currently no hints at a release date, so it could come sometime in 2019, maybe even 2020. It sounds like the game is pretty early in development, but we are going to be getting a closer look at it this E3 in June. If some of their more recent surveys might suggest, The Division 2 might be taking place in a completely different city, which would be pretty awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more, and I'm totally open to picking up the game when it comes out. Until then, there will still be plenty of new content for Division 1, including the ability to collect items called crests that are being added to the game. These crests are going to signify items that will transfer over to Division 2, so it's definitely still worth your time to play the first game. And finally, in the vein of surprise reveals, we move on to the story of the week, which is the announcement of a new Super Smash Bros. Coming to Nintendo Switch. The game was announced this week during Nintendo's latest Nintendo Direct, which showed us some games we can expect inside of 2018. The presentation ended with an early teaser of the new installment, which, as you may have guessed, includes characters from recent Switch games. The teaser itself heavily implies the Inklings from Splatoon 2 joining the roster, and if you look carefully, you can make out the silhouette of Link from Breath of the Wild. The lack of any gameplay footage and the extreme silhouettes, combined with a more refined Super Smash Bros. Logo, seem to heavily imply that this will be much more than a simple port. It stands to reason that it would be easiest to simply port over Super Smash for the Wii U, toss in a few new characters, and call it a day. But upon closer inspection, a lot of people, including me, are starting to think that we're going to get something in between a port and a brand new game. I don't think we'll get a game that's built completely from the ground up, but it will probably feature a refinement of character models, stages, maybe some new features and game modes, and maybe even the omission of some characters which we have seen in past releases. Anything is possible. Sadly, it is all speculation for now. All we know that it's coming sometime in 2018. Which, honestly, if we know Nintendo, it will probably be somewhere in October or November, just in time for the holidays. This seems to be Nintendo's big kahuna this year, so it just makes sense. Anyways, are you excited for Fortnite on mobile? Are you willing to jump into Division 2 for a second go-around? Or will you be like me and dust off your GameCube just to satiate your Smash excitement? Let's discuss. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, a like is always appreciated. Subscribe for much more gaming content right here on the channel. Happy gaming, and I will see you all next time.